It's super heavy, like the bit that came off in the middle, so heavy. I can't believe how heavy it was. Since then I haven't been settled. I've been meaning to call him back to change it. And then down here is where they've moved it to. Hold on, if you can see. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. It's been such a long time since I last caught up with you. I'm actually ashamed at how long it's been. To be honest, I was actually quite down about it, like up until maybe like a week ago, because in my mind this should have been done within a couple of months. It's out of my control. There's certain things that are out of my control. A lot of this has been. And then also coupled with the fact that any of you who have worked in project management, like this is a project in itself, right? So any of you who have worked in project management will know that the hardest part of that is managing people. Like, it's people that make the job hard. Everything else, the work itself, absolutely doable. Light work, in fact. Yeah, that's been super difficult, but at the same time, like, I'm fine now. I've kind of digested it, given myself time, not trying to be too hard on myself, because stress, it just isn't worth it. And I think at the time as well, I was feeling so stressed, and I don't know, it was manifesting into me feeling lethargic and just like upset and weak and all the rest of it. And we all know what happened the last time I got really stressed and felt overworked, and I don't want to become ill again. So the last time I caught up with you was quite a while ago. I have been back and forth like to the house quite a bit. A few things have happened behind the scenes / nothing. I mean, I've had my electrics done, which is amazing. I'll show you all of that in a second as well. It's almost done because he still needs to come back and finish off a few things. Since then, I think I've decided like who I'm gonna go with going forward. And I really hope that they're sound. Like, I really hope they give me no aggro. I mean, you already know some of the problems I had with my old tradesmen, plus like someone trying to break into my house and all the rest of it. It hasn't been a walk in the park, has it? Before I show you the electrician's work, let me just show you what they were doing on like day 2 or 3, and we'll take it from there. Hi guys, so it's 7 AM on day 3 of the new electrician starting. As you can see here, up there is where the old electrician was chasing my sockets like so high, and then down here is where they've moved it to, which is pretty much what I asked for. So there we go. They've done so much work already, like they've gone around and done it to all of them. And I'm sure it changed all the wires. Remember I said, so apparently the new ones, it's probably not focusing, but the new ones should be blue and grey. Something like that, or blue and black. Blue and brown, that's what it is, blue and brown. Got there in the end. Sorry, my voice is really croaky because I am so tired. Here, I'm gonna have to ask them to just move this slightly. I don't know if you can see that, but the socket is off center. I've just measured it as well, because to the naked eye it looks like it's to the left, but I've just measured it as well and it's closer to the left, so I need that brought into the middle a little bit. The same goes for upstairs as well. And this is my kitchen at the moment. Love that. Completely empty, which is nice. This is the second bedroom. They haven't started chasing the sockets in here from what the old electrician did, but you can see they've pulled everything out because it's obviously no good. So that's that. And then the main bedroom, I've got the curtains drawn, so I hope you can see this. But this is the current situation. I actually asked them to move this one to the right a little bit because I'm going to have my inbuilt wardrobes there. I don't want it interfering with that. So yeah. Okay, so back to the present. I'm actually in my living room at the moment, and as you can see, I've had my sockets put in, which is amazing. I think we settled on about 350 above the ground, which is amazing because if you remember, the old electrician, the absolute cowboy, was doing them up here. Look, you can kind of still see the imprint, which is ridiculous. And then I also have them on this side as well. I wanted to go for like the chromey colour in the living areas, the hallway and all of that, just because I think they look nicer. And then the white ones anywhere you can't see them, like here, this is where the TV is going to go. To be honest, I didn't need 4 sockets here. What happened was I asked the electrician to put one in the centre because the TV is going to go there. And then he put it here, if you can see this. He put it here, and then I looked at it. So imagine this one wasn't here, right? So I was looking at the chimney breast and I was like, that is not centre. Oh, excuse my nails. I was like, that is not centre. It won't focus, but you kind of get where I'm coming from. So he was either gonna move it or add another socket. So I just said, oh, add another socket. Like, the TV's gonna cover it, it's not the end of the world. But looking at it, it still bothers me, especially now that you can see where the centre is. It's just off, isn't it, by that much. Oh, annoying. But anyway, oh, and also, you know that like these 2 rooms, if you can see that properly, are gonna be separate. So this is gonna be a stud wall, and then my door's gonna come here. Can you see that? And it's gonna swing open this way. So I put my switch for this room here, as you can see, just to give you some context. And then, oh shoot, trust me, I'm so accident prone, like what am I? And then here we have switches for the hallway, the socket there. Coming into the kitchen, now the kitchen, you know what, I've done some work in here as well, so I'll have to explain. This is plasterboard from the ceiling. And honestly, like, it fell on my head as I was trying to put it down. It wasn't hard to take down, it's just very heavy, because I think there was about 3 panels worth covering the whole of the ceiling, which, you know, isn't an issue. But what was happening was, when I was inviting people around to give me a quote to like plaster the place, they were saying they were just going to put this a new plasterboard over the existing one. And I was like, no, I want it taken down. And they were like, no, there's no need. So I thought, do you know what? Let me just take it down. That way, there's no questions to be asked. They just have to make good of what's left, which is this. So they'll have to sort this out. But sticking plasterboard on top of plasterboard when you've got this crap underneath it, I'd rather make this situation better. I don't want to keep on putting a mask or like a plaster on a bad situation. So that's that explains why I've got this. God, I should have worn gloves. My electrics are done. One is for the kitchen, one switch, and then one's for the garden, because I wanted a garden light. And then these are for like my worktops and everything. And again, on this side, oh, sorry. This is where like my fridge is gonna go, and all the rest of it. My washing machine's gonna go in that corner. So when he was doing it right, I was like, this is too low. Like this, I wonder if I step back if you can see it. It just looked too low from the floor. So we went back and forth on this a little bit as well, because I was like, no, I think it needs to be higher. And he was like, no, the worktop only comes about 3 feet high anyway. So it's in the right area. After it was done, my dad came round, his friend came round, and they were like, that is really low. My mum saw it, she was like, it's really low. Since then, I haven't been settled. I've been meaning to call him back to change it. So when I've measured it up, it's 3 feet. And then I think my sockets start at 41 inches. Now, I've been obsessed for like the past couple of weeks since it's been done. Every time I go around someone's houses, I'm like, because I always have a tape measure on me as well, which is so goofy. But I'm like, oh my God, do you mind if I just measure up where your sockets are in the kitchen? For peace of mind, I want to know that it's in the appropriate place. So I measured up. I was at my friend's house the other day, and he had, I think his was 45 inches higher. So obviously, his was a bit higher than mine. Mine's 41, which kind of made me feel a little bit anxious as well. I think the kitchen fitter would be able to change anyway, but that's beside the point. I'm at ease because I think it's at a decent height. We will see when the time comes, but I think it's fine, and I can kind of like work around it. I don't like it when sockets are too high anyway, so it should be fine. Okay, another reason I want the electrician to come back and finish it off is because he has cut all of these dead wires, right? These are my original old ones. He's left them underneath the floorboards. So he's left them underneath the bathroom floorboards, because that's where my bathroom is. And as you can see, they've seeped through the holes in the ceiling. Not to mention, I think that was probably for the extractor that was there previously. He's left that in, the switch. There's just a few things that I'm like, honey, if you're gonna do a rewire, take out my old ones. Like, I don't want both of them in. Actually, on top of that, come with me upstairs. So this is a switch for my bathroom, because it's in the hallway. I wanted it in this chrome colour. Now, when I did a quick scan of the house, all like the door was open like this. My door is always open because there's no bathroom for me to use the bathroom and all the rest of it. Anyway, so this was out, and all I saw were these switches. These match the hallway ones that I was talking about earlier, what I hadn't realised, and I honestly cannot remember the socket even being here. There's a socket behind the door, but because the door was covering it, I couldn't see it. That is obviously still an old socket, and it's white, and I want chrome. So he needs to come back to do that as well. So yeah, that's the update. That's the story in Balamory at the moment. So the last thing I wanted to update you on actually is my dining room ceiling, which, now I'm so sure what had happened here, because it was already cracked beforehand, but what I think happened was when the electricians were doing the electrics and wiring it upstairs, I think they stepped through the floorboards, through the like joists that are underneath the floorboards, and I think they created an even bigger dent when they were trying to do my sockets and everything and my light fittings, which is bloody annoying, but at the same time it had to come down anyway. The plasterers have all said, look, it needs to come down, we need to put up new plasterboard and all the rest of it, which is fine. So guess who's going to attempt to take the rest of it down today? You probably think I'm balmy, and I probably am. Because yeah, it's just unreal, isn't it? And it's super heavy, like the bit that came off in the middle, so heavy. I can't believe how heavy it was. So what I've done is I've brought a few things with me. Let me show you. I'm literally resting you on a ladder, so forgive me. But basically, I was saying to my mum that I wanted to attempt doing it, and she was like, you need like the appropriate equipment and whatnot. She actually thought I was a nutter at first, but then she was like, you need the appropriate equipment. So she's bought me one of them overalls, you know, them ones that, them dust suits. She's got me a large, so it should fit, we hope. So that will be interesting. And then my brother gave me a little helmet as well. Because like I said, it's incredibly heavy. Like, it would give me concussion if it fell on my head, and I do need to protect myself. Like, let's not be silly with it. And it's going to be incredibly dusty, so I'm going to open a window as well and open all the doors and all the rest of it. You probably think I'm insane, but so do I. We're going to try it. We're going to see. We'll see. Hopefully it's all good. Hey, so I now have it all on, if you can see. The bit that's just, what is going on with the helmet? Like, is it supposed to be this high? I don't think it is. I know my brother has a smaller head than me, but this actually looks ridiculous. And guess what? If you thought it could look even more ridiculous, oh, sorry. This is a look. Honestly, I don't understand how this, look how thin it is as well. I don't understand how that would protect me any more than a tracksuit would. Like, but whatever. Oh, you should see the state of me. Can you see? Can you see that? Bitch. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna open up the windows and get started. Can I just say that I didn't actually want to have to do this part. At this stage, I would have rather found a decent, reputable builder who could take on the load and take over altogether. But instead, I had the disaster cowboy plumbers and electrician, if that's what you would even call them, and I've almost become scared of who I let in the house, who I instruct, second guessing who's trustworthy, whose reviews are even real. One time, or maybe even twice, could be deemed bad luck. But anything more than that and you start to think you're jinxed, or I can't trust my own judgment. It's a little bit bittersweet, but I'm actually glad so many other people commented so many similar horror stories in my previous video, because I was starting to think it was just me. But turns out there's a much bigger issue with reputable tradesmen at large, who seem to be more fixated on scamming people to make a quick buck than completing the job as agreed. And at this stage, I actually want to do something about it. Hello, we're back. So it has been 2 hours since I last spoke to you. So I've spent 2 hours taking down the ceiling. You can see all of this all over the floor. I don't know about anyone else, but I always try to race the clock when I'm doing an activity or some work. Big reveal. This is what the ceiling looks like now. I've taken off all of the outer layer, and what was left were these wooden, I don't know what to call it, because the beams sit on top of it, these wooden kind of sticks. I wasn't sure whether to keep them or take them down, and because I wasn't sure, I thought it'd be better to just leave them until I know for sure. It took me longer than I thought it would, especially like the corner bits, they were really hard. And I just chiseled away, got it all down, and this is what it's now looking like. There's a lot, which I'm gonna sweep up in a minute and bag them all up. I've left the door open the whole time, obviously, because it's been so dusty, ridiculously dusty. Do you know what? I don't know how else to contain the dust. I know that water helps, but how on earth do I, like, it's in the air. I've kept that door shut as well, but you know, what more can you do? At least it's all done in one afternoon. And that's what it's now looking like. Hopefully, next time I'll have a better update for you than just taking down the ceiling.